नाउ किसी भी स्टेडियम में एंट्री के लिए पास चाहिए होता है, नहीं? तो ये एक तरीके से आपका आईडी कार्ड है। ये कुछ बिलीफ सिस्टम्स हैं, दीज आर सर्टेन सेट्स ऑफ प्रिंसिपल्स, concepts, or transformational beliefs that are going to get you through life effortlessly. So what are those beliefs? Let's look at it. Number one, responsibility has to be inclusive, it cannot be exclusive. As soon as the word responsibility comes, a lot of people straight away start thinking about the blame game. Responsibility means it has a negative connotation in most people's mind, but that is not what it is. In fact, if you were to ask me, responsibility is simply your ability to respond. And your ability to respond, is it limited or unlimited? Unlimited, right? So responsibility, if it is just your ability to respond, it has to be inclusive. You cannot be, I am only responsible for my food, my habits, my life, my books, my room, my this, and okay, that's it. No, it has to be inclusive. You have to make as many people a part of your responsibility, as many situations a part of your responsibility, as many life forms and days of life as possible a part of your responsibility as much as you can, right? So responsibility has to be inclusive, it cannot be exclusive. And believe you me, the more people you include in your responsibility, the more situations you include in your responsibility, the more freedom you'll have. In fact, I go on to the extent of saying there is no freedom without responsibility, because the word responsibility means the ability to respond. And your ability to respond, should it be limited and exclusive, or should it be limitless and all inclusive, is the question you have. That's a choice that you have to make. So responsibility is not about blame game. Responsibility is about exercising a choice. See, when you are not responsible for what is not comfortable in your life, you become half alive. Because as a human being, we are the peak of evolution. सबसे डेवलप, सबसे ट्रांसफॉर्म, सबसे परिष्कृत जो प्रजाति है इस दुनिया में, इस पृथ्वी पर, वो है मानव जाति। और उसकी रिस्पॉन्स करने की या रिस्पॉन्ड करने की एबिलिटी वो लिमिटलेस है। यू कैन लिटरली रिस्पॉन्ड टू एनीथिंग और एवरीथिंग। नाउ जस्ट एट दिस मोमेंट, कैन यू रिस्पॉन्ड टू द सनरेज? हो सकता है आप एक एसी रूम में बैठे हैं, यू आर सिटिंग इन एन एयर कंडीशन चेम्बर and there is no source of light around, but is your body responding to the sun rays? Of course it is. Now you'll ask, Pradyum, what are you talking, this is a mushy ground, you being a doctor, how can you be so illogical? Let me tell you the logic. Everything, every life form on this planet is directly or indirectly solar powered. How solar powered? Because the food you are eating is a result of photosynthesis that is keeping you alive. Even if you dig a hole 10 kilometers down into earth and block yourself of any chance of catching a sun ray ever in your life, if you are eating food, you are directly or indirectly in touch with the solar rays, the solar power, right? That's a very basic example. You can keep on extending these logics, but essentially, fundamentally, what we are trying to say is, when you are not responsible for what is not comfortable in your life, you become half alive. See, it's like saying कि मैं तो अपने जीवन में केवल अपनी फैमिली की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ले रहा हूँ। और हम देख रहे हैं समाज में आज जब ऐसा हो रहा है कि कुछ लोग जब केवल अपने परिवार की या अपनी जरूरतों के बारे में सोच रहे हैं, उसकी वजह से कितना ज्यादा भ्रष्टाचार बढ़ रहा है। बिकॉज दे आर ओनली रिस्पॉन्डिंग to what is comfortable in their life, what is comfortable to their mental structures, as a result of which they are becoming just half alive. At the same time, your ability to respond as a life and to life around you determines your ability to be fully alive. So the more you are raising your consciousness, the more you are encompassing the life situations, the life forms, and people around you in the sphere of your responsibility, that is what is literally determining your ability to be fully alive. When you are fully alive, the dichotomies of life fully vanish. You are just experiencing life the way it is. And why it is essential is, why it is necessary is because essentially human being wants two things in life. One is the impactfulness of activity. आप चाहते हैं कि जो भी काम मैं करूं वो कुछ एक्स्ट्रॉर्डिनरी इम्पैक्ट क्रिएट करे, एक लास्टिंग चेंज लाए, कुछ बहुत अच्छा हो पाए उसकी वजह से. सेकंड, profoundness of experience. You want your experience of life to be rich. लोग, आपको क्या लगता है, 10,000 फीट की ऊंचाई से बंजी जंपिंग करते हैं या पैराट्रूपर्स कूदते हैं, वो किस लिए कर रहे हैं? उनको मजा आ रहा है, because they want their experience of life to be rich. It is giving them an adrenaline rush. So when you are fully alive, when you are consciously exercising the choice of being responsible, you are consciously exercising the choice of raising the sphere of your responsibility, both pleasure and suffering disappear. Both pleasure and suffering disappear. Because what is pleasure? It is the positive extreme. What is suffering? It is the negative extreme. But life doesn't happen on extremes. Life happens in the middle. It's in between the ends of these spectrum that life actually happens. So being playful once and for all, let me tell you, is the most responsible thing you can do. Because only when you are playful, only and only when you are playful, you are 100% involved. When you are 100% involved, there is absolute willingness to go through anything or everything, whether it is pain or pleasure, joy or suffering, whatever it is. Just be playful. So, with this being said, let me quickly dive on to the second life path. That was the first thing. And it is something that I learned in a program called Inner Engineering, which the Isha Foundation and under Sadhguru offers. And this was, in a way, a life changing moment for me. I was like, oh, I always expected or thought of responsibility as being some kind of a transactional blame game. It happened because you are responsible for it. Such and such bad thing is happening in life because you are responsible for it. But if you look at it closely, if you analyze it objectively and logically, you will realize, hang on, responsibility is simply my ability to respond, right? So why should it be limited? And this brings us to the second thing, which is individual good should never come at the cost of larger good. You give up that need that the world should be impressed by. It's essential to keep the larger good at the pedestal, followed by, if possible, the individual goods or the family good or whatever. But it's very essential that you should never be keeping individual benefits, individual progress up and over the larger good. Individual good should never come at the cost of larger good. So there's a sense of, I would say, a sense of philanthropy, a sense of compassion, and most importantly, a sense of responsibility. So give up that need that the world should be impressed by me. No, no one needs to be impressed by you. No one needs to be demeaning you. It's your life and you should be living it to express, not to impress. It's very essential that we are here as a life and we find full expression to whatever our potential is. My potential as a swimmer might not be as great as Michael Phelps. My potential as a runner might not be as great as Mr. Usain Bolt. My potential as a cricketer might not be as great as Mr. Virat Kohli. But am I enjoying life doing all those activities that the great men in that particular arena are doing? Yes, I am enjoying swimming. So what if I'm not as great as Michael Phelps? I enjoy batting. So what if I'm not as great as Virat Kohli? I'm enjoying running just for the fun of running, not to impress someone. It is just an expression of my own happiness. It is just an expression of my lust for life. And as I reminded you a couple of moments prior, there are two things that a human being wants: impactfulness of activity and profoundness of experience in life. So you got to live by this rule literally, that you live to express, not to impress. You don't have to be better than someone else. But at the same time, having said what I have said, yes, you should not be, you are not there to be actually better than someone else. But it is essential as a piece of life that you should not be anything less than what you could be. It is important for you to realize your fullest potential and unleash the fullest potential in all walks of life, no matter what you're doing. You may be 63, so what? Is it a bad time to start? After all, you are breathing, right? So just make it a point, live to express, not to impress, and you don't need to be necessarily better than someone else. But you must be better than how you were yesterday. You must be better than how you were a couple of days back, maybe a year back, or maybe 10 years ago. If that growth is not happening, then for sure you are living a pathetic life. You should not be anything less than what you could be, is what the mantra is. And in everything, give nothing less than the best. In everything, give nothing less than the best. Make today the best day of your life. Make today the best day of your life. Because after all, what does it take to make a great life? A great life, not a best life, right? Best means in comparison to someone. तुलनात्मक हो जाता है वो. You are comparing yourself to someone. That is not how it should be. If at all you need to compare to anyone, compare it to your previous self. जैसा मैं कल था, उसकी तुलना में क्या आज मैं बेटर हूं या नहीं? जैसा मैं 10 महीने पहले था या 10 साल पहले था, उसकी तुलना में मैं आज बेटर हूं या नहीं? और अगर आप मुझसे पूछें, इन माय हम्बल ओपिनियन, देयर कुड बी अ लॉट ऑफ फैक्टर्स, बट if you ask me, Dr. Pradyumna, what is it that will help me live a great life? These are the 5 things on your screen. Intensity and commitment in all endeavors, no matter what you're doing in life. Even if you are cleaning vessels, 100% intensity, 100% involvement, 100% commitment. Commitment to what? Just cleaning vessels. It's as simple as that. Number two, integrity in all walks of life. Integrity is not necessarily honesty. Integrity is a certain sense of grace with which you are walking through particular situations. And this is very essential to have in all walks of life. A graciousness in all walks of life, whatever you're going through. It could be harsh situations, it could be hostile people, it could be a toxic environment full of negativity, no matter what. It's important you as an individual, you as a human being, uphold your integrity to the best possible manner. Number three, limitless responsibility for everything. Now, this is something I don't wish to talk about more, because already I have confused you and coaxed you into believing certain things that were against your preset belief systems. But the more expansion of responsibility you make, the more life will you as an individual be experiencing. That is something that I'm telling you from my own experience. Number four, handle the immediate playfully. Just handle the immediate playfully. What will happen in future? What happened in past? If we are worrying about past and future, how the hell will we be living a fruitful life? So it's essential you handle the immediate playfully. That's all. And stop passing the buck. Human beings as a species have this tendency. Most human beings, I would say 99.99% of human beings have this tendency. If something bad happens in life, it's because of this guy. Something else happens bad, it's because of this guy. Something tremendously bad happens, it's because of that guy up there. So small things, you put the blame on people who are here on this earth. Big problems, big situations, the blame is on Uparwala. So stop passing this buck. Realize in India, the spirituality always evolved around the basic ethos that your life is your making. Stop passing the buck. Stop this idiotic blame game. It's not going to help anyone, neither you nor your family. For a moment, you might feel satisfied. हाँ, अच्छा लग रहा है. See, you made a fool of someone by saying, मैं तो टाइम पे आ जाता, पर वो रास्ते में इतना बड़ा ट्रैफिक जाम था, मैं क्या बताऊं. अरे भैया 10 मिनट पहले घर से निकलो, टाइम पे पहुंच जाओगे. So, with this being said, this is all about the life pass. So, we took our life. Today, we thought, okay, let's dissect our life. We took the life. एक लाइफ को अगर आप मशीन मानते हो, उसका प्लग लिया, सॉकेट में लगाया, सॉकेट चालू किया, दैट वाज लाइफ प्लग इन. We literally got a feel of okay, how it is, where we are standing currently, what is our current situation. Next, I told you, okay, this life is like a stadium जिसके अंदर जाके हमको खेलना है. But स्टेडियम में एंट्री के लिए तो पास लगता है, राइट? So we talked about certain principles, certain concepts, certain belief systems that are contrary to what you have been living so far in life. That was life pass.